Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the invitation to participate in the hearing, and I find it just sweet justice that I get the microphone last after my colleague challenged a Texan in a bragging match. While one of our witnesses is a Texan, but
We've got a Nebraskan too.
so I might as well have my first question. Is Texas the largest ag state in the union, Mr. Benning? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I yield. No, I'm kidding. Mr. Chairman, on a serious note, and Mr. Benning, you've been a great friend, and I've enjoyed working alongside of you as to be a voice for agriculture here in our nation's capital. But on a very serious note, we have seen a 50% reduction in farm income over the last several years, the likes of which we haven't seen since the Great Depression. True or false?
That is true, sir.
We're witnessing the highest bankruptcy rates in recent history. True or false?
That's true.
Here's one that just will rattle your soul. Farmers and ranchers have the highest suicide rate in the nation, 5 times the national average. Are times tough in ag country, Mr. Benning?
Yes, sir, they are.
You know, I'm reminded of a famous quote from one of our presidents. Farming looks mighty easy when your plow is a pencil and you're 1,000 miles from the cornfield. We are, our U.S. beef guys especially, but ag in general, have been bleeding out on account of not having parity in competition in the Japanese market. We would stand to lose over $1 billion in the next several years had we not shorn up this component on the tariff-related provisions. $1 billion. This is our largest market for U.S. beef. And I think the president and the administration, Bob Lighthizer, ought to be commended for understanding the urgency of the matter here. Time was not on our side, and we needed to do a deal, and it's quite frankly a great deal with respect to tariff provisions. It obviously is not a comprehensive trade agreement, and I think everyone in this room and all the witnesses would agree that's the long-term goal. But you gotta be able to survive. It's like being on the operating table in the emergency room. I'd like to know how our bones are going to heal, but I'd just like to stop bleeding out. And that's, I think, what this represents in many ways. And I think that's, again, agreed upon by the folks here as witnesses. We have more cows in West Texas than 43 states individually have people. And every time I go back to the district, they tell me, those cows, how bad the Green New Deal is. That's a joke, Mr. Benning. You can laugh. But we've talked about the framework for rural prosperity, you and I both. Freer markets, fairer trade, a stronger and more reliable safety net, and sustainable infrastructure for small-town USA. We've got lower taxes and lower regulatory burdens. The tax reform was pro-ag, whether it was 100% expensing or the death tax exemption raised. The Farm Bill, bipartisan, and I give Colin Peterson a big thumbs up for being willing to work and compromise to help the producers in this country with a more reliable and responsible safety net. We need more markets. We need more customers. And we need to move on, quite frankly, from our existing trade relationships and go after new markets and new customers. And USMCA, as you said, Ms. Vetter, that these things build on each other. That's why it's important to get the best deal you can. Well, we have this comprehensive trade deal just waiting in the wings to be implemented. And it's not going to be perfect, but we all agree it needs to be enforced. And it is a game changer. 170,000 new jobs for this great country. But more importantly, and I'd like to just tee it up for everybody to comment, but Mr. Benning, you could start.
Not in the last 5 seconds.
Yes, sir. May I just put a little fine point here on my comment? And they don't have to respond.
That's good, because your time's up.
The answer is no.
No, put a fine point
Okay.
on it. You're a guest.
Thank you. It's the fact that it's not just for the Mexico-Canada markets, it's the framework to move with greater speed than we've been moving for opening up new markets. I think that is why it's more profound than just simply a better deal. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.